Frank Owens was a seasoned cave diver who thrived on the thrill of venturing into the unknown. His reputation as a fearless explorer preceded him, with countless solo expeditions to his name. Over the years, Frank had traversed an array of fascinating cave systems, each offering a unique experience. Yet, he always craved more. One fateful October day, he arrived at a cave system he had never explored before. Situated deep within a remote forest, the entrance beckoned him, shrouded in an eerie mist. Excitement coursed through Frank's veins as he prepared his gear, double-checking every piece of equipment. He took a moment to breathe in the damp air before descending into the abyss, his headlamp cutting through the darkness. The deeper Frank went, the more alive he felt. The adrenaline fueled his descent, and as he navigated the intricate cave system, he marveled at the geological wonders he encountered. Stunning stalactite formations adorned the cavern walls, and the eerie silence was punctuated only by the steady drip of water. As he moved further into the cave, the passages grew narrower, and the formations more intricate. Frank documented his findings, taking meticulous notes and photographs. He imagined sharing his experiences with fellow cave divers and the excitement his discoveries would generate. Continuing his descent, Frank encountered a particularly narrow passage that piqued his curiosity. With great care, he squeezed through the claustrophobic space, navigating the jagged rocks that threatened to pierce his suit. Emerging on the other side, he discovered a small, hidden chamber, the likes of which he had never seen before. The chamber walls sparkled with what appeared to be ancient mineral deposits, and a small pool of water glimmered in the center. Awestruck, Frank carefully stepped into the chamber, his heart racing with excitement. It was in this mesmerizing chamber that Frank's world would change forever. As he moved around the pool, his foot became wedged between two rocks. Panic surged through him as he desperately tried to free himself, but the more he struggled, the tighter his foot became trapped. Hours turned into days as Frank's hope dwindled. His once adventurous spirit was replaced with fear and despair. His food and water supplies began to run low, and his strength waned with each futile attempt to break free. On the third day of his entrapment, Frank noticed the sound of trickling water growing louder. He had heard the water dripping in the cave before, but this was different. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. The cave was flooding. As the water began to fill the chamber, Frank fought against his restraints with renewed desperation. The cold, relentless water reached his ankles, then his knees, as the chamber slowly transformed into an underwater tomb. Why now? Why this cave? Why me? Frank screamed into the darkness, his voice echoing off the chamber walls. He knew that the water would continue to rise, and there would be no escape. On the surface, Frank's wife, Susan, had grown increasingly concerned about his absence. The uneasiness in her heart grew stronger, and she knew she could no longer ignore it. "I can't just sit here any longer. I'm calling the police," she said, her voice trembling. The search for Frank commenced in earnest, with rescue teams scouring the forest and descending into the cave system. Hindered by the labyrinthine passages and rising floodwaters, they faced numerous challenges as they searched for him. Yet their determination never wavered. As the days passed, Susan and the rest of Frank's family held their breath, praying for a miracle. 5 days after he had descended into the cave, one of the rescue teams discovered the narrow passage leading to the hidden chamber. With bated breath, they squeezed through the claustrophobic space, the reality of Frank's situation becoming increasingly apparent. As they entered the chamber, their headlamps revealed the chilling scene that awaited them. Frank's lifeless body lay slumped against the cave wall, his foot still trapped between the rocks. His hands were mangled, his fingernails shattered from his desperate attempts to free himself. The rescuers stared in disbelief, the enormity of Frank's ordeal sinking in. "God, I can't believe this," one of the rescuers whispered, his voice barely audible. Another rescuer placed a hand on his shoulder, his eyes filled with sadness. "There was nothing we could have done. This place, it's unforgiving." As they carried Frank's body out of the cave, the rescuers couldn't shake the image of the man who had fought so valiantly against the cruel fate that had befallen him. The darkness of the cave seemed to press in on them, and they couldn't escape fast enough. News of Frank's tragic death spread like wildfire, leaving the small community in shock. Friends, family, and strangers alike mourned the loss of a man who had dared to explore the unknown, only to be claimed by its merciless depths. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more true scary stories.